Hello all and welcome to All Red. I've got 5 players who I think will definitely be sold this summer and will be leaving Liverpool Football Club. I'm basing this on not just who I would want to sell. Actually, it's not about that at all. I think it's about utilization this season. Who have we seen Arne Slot utilize? Because we know this season is all about Arne Slot assessing his squad for the future. And I think the numbers, the minutes played numbers in particular, are fascinating to look at. And so let's look at who are going to be sold this summer. Let's start with none other than Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez, it hasn't really been like a selection issue. I think it's just been more of an injury issue. But even before he got injured, he wasn't super duper utilized. He was a guy that Arne Slot seemed very reluctant to play. He has played 874 minutes this season, and that's actually decent considering he's been injured for a large portion of it. But I think it's going to be Joe Gomez's time to go. And I think there will be some suitors out there who have looked at Joe Gomez over the last 10 years in his career and have seen a pretty good defender, Premier League proven, got into the English squad for the last major competition, and a guy who can come in and probably be a starting center back or left back or right back in the Premier League, and just a really, really good guy to have on your team when fit. But I think it's time for him to go. I think Arne Slot will be happy to sell him for, I think, around £30 million. It's an English defender, Premier League proven, can probably come into some squads and really, make their defense better in the Premier League. And when you stay in the Premier League, you command a higher fee. So let's look at number 2 here. This is one that hurts my soul. Harvey Elliott, I think, will be sold this summer. I don't understand it. I really don't get it. Harvey Elliott has one of the best goals per minute ratios this season, which is just insane. So he's number 4 technically on the list. Number 3 if you take out Jayden Danns, who's really only played in 1 appearance, I think, or 2. But Harvey Elliott has about 0.582 goals per 90. That's third on our team. That's third on our team behind Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo. So Harvey Elliott, I think, is going to be sold purely because Arne Slot refuses to utilize him, which is just sad. It is. I don't get it, because Harvey Elliott clearly, statistically, and just the eye test, has been one of our best midfielders when he plays. Arne Slot brings him in seemingly in emergency situations, and Harvey Elliott does not disappoint. That's why I'm so puzzled by this one. I just don't get it, but I just don't see a path forward for Harvey Elliott at this club, because Arne Slot has just said no. I'm not going to play him. Even though Harvey Elliott is a game changer. He is, and he was last season too. He led Liverpool. I think he led Liverpool in Premier League assists last year or something like that, something crazy like that. But Harvey Elliott, I think, if it were up to me, he would stay. He would play a lot more. Honestly, he's looked a lot better than Szoboszlai in that 8 to 10 role. I know he doesn't have the physical, the speed, maybe the stamina that Szoboszlai has, but Harvey Elliott's a playmaker. He can make the passes and he can score. And that's far more than I can say for Szoboszlai over the course of this season. He has a much, much better goals per 90 than Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai doesn't even crack the top 15 on our team in that category. So, Harvey Elliott, the numbers don't lie, but also the minutes numbers don't lie, and I think he's going to be gone. I think Liverpool should be able to get at least 45 million for a 21, 22-year-old midfielder with his amount of experience. And I think Harvey Elliott is one to watch for the future. Sadly, I don't think his future is at Liverpool, which is just kind of weird and shocking to me. All right, Darwin Nunez, I think, is the striker most likely to be sold this season. Here's why. I think just you look at the utilization of the attacking options for Liverpool, and you have to look at the minutes played. So when fit, Diogo Jota seems to be the guy, right? He started the season up top for Liverpool, and now that he's back, he is pretty much starting every match as Liverpool's number 9. I think Arne Slot rates him. I think he likes his intelligence, and that's really the guy. He has been the guy for Arne Slot when fit. Darwin Nunez has played. He's played in 1,900 minutes plus this season, but when Jota is fit, Darwin Nunez barely sees the pitch and does not start matches. And so I think Arne Slot is just a little bit fed up with Darwin Nunez and his lack of ability to finish. I was really hoping Arne Slot could fix Nunez, to be the guy to go get in there and retool maybe some mental things like he's done in the past for guys like Orkun Kokcu. But I don't see it. I don't see the improvement. And I think Darwin Nunez is set to leave for £55 million. Not a bad return, even though we spent more on this player. But, Darwin Nunez, I think, is set to leave. Honestly, if it were up to me, I would keep Darwin Nunez for one more season. I know I keep saying that, and there's a lot of people who are like, it's time. It's just time to let go. But man, it's just hard to let go someone who had so much potential. I don't know if he still does, but anyways, these three I think are pretty much guaranteed to go this summer. All right, Queen Kelleher, no surprise here. I think his time is at an end at Liverpool, not because of any reason other than they just have too much talent in the goalkeeping category. Queen Kelleher, a big part of Liverpool's success this season after Alisson went down injured. But I think Kelleher is set to go. I think he wants football in the first team. He wants to be a starter. And I think Liverpool could probably hold out and command a decent fee for this guy, at least £35 million. He's probably going to go to another Premier League team, and when that happens, you just get a higher fee. So I think Queven Kelleher, he's been the best number 2 in world football. Honestly, you look at a team like Manchester United at the weekend, who have really no one better than Queven Kelleher, but they bring in their number 2, and it's just shocking how poor and how terrible other teams' number 2s are. We're spoiled. Typically, your number 2 isn't super duper great, but man, Queven Kelleher, a starting caliber goalkeeper as our number 2, has been really good, and I think we're set to have that again with Mamardashvili coming in, who's going to hopefully now learn under Alisson Becker. So no surprise there. Here's number 5, Kostas Tsimikas for $20 million. I think it's just time. I don't think Andy Robertson's going to be sold. I think Andy Robertson is going to be kept and hopefully be the number 2, maybe the guy to train up and just give a boost to that next generation left back, who I'm hoping is Milos Kerkez. And then I think Andy Robertson is just a really good locker room guy. I think he's just a good squad guy, good attitude, good leader, and just all around positive vibes. So I think he's going to stay. But yeah, £185 million just from those 5 players alone, honestly, is pretty impressive and could make Liverpool's summer purchases way more interesting with that amount in the bank. Now, that's just 5 players. I think there could be more sales. And so I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see what Liverpool do. Everyone in and around the club are saying, Arne Slot included, Virgil van Dijk included, they're saying it's going to be a very, very busy summer to make the club better. Let me know what you think in the comments.